Okay, put those up now. That's it. And just stare at those fingers, stare at those fingers. Just imagine the magnets coming together, coming together, coming together. You can feel them pulling there. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So why is it important to tailor your language to the person you're hypnotizing? Keep watching and find out. Hi there, it's Tran here from Feel Good Hypnosis, and in this week's video we're looking at the importance of tailoring our language to the person we're working with. Now, in this little street hypnosis skit, I'm working with a child, so the opening part of the video you see me just finishing off discussing with the adult who's with that child to make sure I've got permission. Now, aside from anything else I'm talking about today, make sure when you're working with children that you have permission from the adult, the parent or the guardian that's with them, so that you can work with them. Now, there's no problems working with children. I do that all the time, both in street hypnosis and in a therapeutic setting, but I always make sure I've got permission from an adult. Now, this has nothing to do with hypnosis. It is professional to do it for hypnosis, but whether you're pushing your child in the swing and there's a kid next to you and he says, "Can you push me?" always ask the parental permission before you interact with that child. So it's important that the parent or guardian knows what you're doing, whether it's pushing a child on a swing or whether it's hypnotizing them. So it's nothing to do with the hypnosis in itself, but it's to do with just professional courtesy and legal, accountability and responsibility. So that gets that out of the way. Moving back to working with someone and tailoring your language and your hypnosis to them, it is very important. You'll see in this skit that, again, looking at the induction, jumping back to the induction, you see he's really excited, he's really involved. We've got that hypnotic contract off. I'm going to hypnotize you and you want to be hypnotized. He clearly wants to be hypnotized. So again, lovely signs from the get-go of seeing that, that the boy in this situation really is excited and willing to be hypnotized. Now, I move straight into the induction for the magnetic hands, the magnetic fingers induction. Now, usually I'll say, well, put your fingers about an inch apart, and you'll see me in this video, I start by saying put your fingers about an inch apart, but I remember, well, I'm talking to a young boy who has probably grown up, if he knows any length and measurements at all, it's probably the metric system, it's probably centimeters, millimeters, meters, etc. So to say put your fingers an inch apart, I obviously quickly have to correct myself and say, well, about this far apart, and I again clearly show him. Now, I'd already shown him sort of do this, but as the moment I put that additional suggestion of about an inch apart, I need to make sure I qualify that for him and bring it down to his level so he understands exactly what I'm saying and there's no confusion. The minute you sort of put ambiguity in there, you can sort of really spoil the moment, spoil the responsiveness, and you can see from the video so far that he's very responsive and really is keen. So we don't want to put him off in any way. So it's important to tailor to his age group. Now, in this situation, we're talking about working with children, but this same principle applies to, say, working with someone whose first language isn't English. In that case, they may not have the complete vocabulary that you're using, so they don't understand you, and if they're having to process too much and not understand you, then they're not going to really concentrate on the hypnosis happening. So again, whether it's children, whether it's someone whose first language is English, or if you're using something that is probably not everyday language, you need to tailor it to the subject's needs. So that's always keeping that in mind. As we move back into the induction, just to finish off this video, you can see this guy, this young boy is very, very keen. And again, it's about calibrating. I'm listening, I'm watching to what he's doing and saying to get feedback that he's enjoying the experience. In this case, he's laughing and giggling and looking in amazement. So all those signs tell me that I'm calibrating correctly and I'm communicating at his level and things are happening inside his mind. And that applies too, again, for the use of language. Always look at the subject, listen to the subject, get a sense of how they are reacting so you know that you're talking to them at their level. You'll see that I move on to the magnetic hands induction after the magnetic fingers has worked so beautifully, and all the time, watch out and see how I'm calibrating his response. That's always important for any hypnosis, whether you're working with an average adult, whether you're working with a young teen or young child, or whether you're working with someone whose English isn't perfect. Always calibrate your subject, and you'll see that throughout this induction. So I hope you like this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up, make sure you give it a like, and don't forget to click the big red subscribe button. And if you click the bell notification right next to that subscribe button, you'll get notified right away when a new video comes out from Feel Good Hypnosis. If you have any comments about this video, or any comments about what you'd like to see next, put them in the comment section below. I really love reading your comments, and I like giving feedback and responding to those comments, so please do leave the comments in the comment section below. In the meantime, let's watch this video. Consent, so I just wanted to make sure they knew there was consent. Yeah. So would you like to be hypnotized?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Please.
Please. Good stuff. Okay.
Right, she's 100%.
So, put your hands out like this here. Clasp your hands together. Tight, tight, tight. Bend your elbows like you're saying a prayer. Now what I want you to do is put, in a moment, not yet, in a moment I want you to put your fingers up about an inch apart, about that size apart, okay? And just use your imagination.
Yeah.
Just imagine inside your mind that the fingertips are magnets. Think you can do that? Okay, put those up now. That's it. And just stare at those fingers, stare at those fingers. Just imagine the magnets coming together, coming together, coming together. You can feel them pulling there. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Isn't that wonderful? Now we're going to do the next stage. Once again, put your hands out like this here. Now this time, keep your fingers nice and tight together. Put your feet together. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Okay. Now stare at my finger. Just stare at my finger between those two hands and continue to imagine that that finger's there as you close your eyes down now. Close your eyes down, but just picture that finger between the two hands. Now do what I say now and it will happen. Just imagine now there's very strong magnets, just like those fingers are magnets. Imagine those hands are now magnets. As I click my fingers, that's it. Feel them pulling together all by themselves. Tugging and pulling, pulling and tugging, tugging and pulling together. And when those hands touch, there you go. Continue to pull together. Continue to pull together, continue to pull together, locking and sticking together. Just feel those hands locking and sticking together. Feel those hands locking and sticking together. And in a moment, not yet, in a moment I'm going to ask you to try and pull those hands apart. But the more you try and pull those hands apart, the more those hands will just lock and stick together. Lock and stick together. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead now and try and pull those hands apart and find those hands are just locked and stuck together. Really locked and stuck. And the more you try, the more those hands stick together. Now look what happens now. In a moment I'm going to say sleep, and when I say sleep, your head will drop down to your chest, your legs will remain standing, but you'll just go into a wonderful relaxing state. 1, 2, 3, sleep now. Deeper, deeper, deeper relaxed. And the deeper you go, the more relaxed you feel, the more relaxed you feel, the deeper you go. And when I drop that hand down on your leg, you'll just go 10 times deeper, 10 times more relaxed. Feel that feeling of relaxation going all the way through your body as your legs remain standing.